Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. And for this layout I'm using the Simple Stories Summer Snapshots. I've used this collection before, so I haven't got all of it, but I'm deciding I'm going to use this Take the Shot paper as the base. And while I cut this up, I'll just explain that this layout is being made for this month's Hey Little Magpie challenge, and that challenge has been set by Jackie, and it's to use 10. I'll come back to that later on. So Julie and I are both making layouts to go with Jackie's challenge. So I'm just laying out the Polaroids that I've cut from the Take the Shot paper. As I say, I didn't have a full sheet, otherwise I probably would have used it as it was, but I'd had two sheets and I'd cut them both up. So I'm just moving them around to get them in the right position. I'm not so keen on the green one, so that's why I keep moving things around. But I'm just trying to get a mix of the square and the rectangular Polaroids. So I've got a little photo there. So my plan is to use 10 photos because there's 10 Polaroids around the outside and 2 in the centre that could take the title. So that's where the original idea came from. I was going to use 10 photos on the outer 10 Polaroids. And that is what I do, as you'll see as things progress. So because I'm going to be using 10 photographs, I don't want to be really using any other pattern paper than the Take the Shot that I've got there as the base. So I'm just going through all the ephemera that I've got left to see what I can use. And whilst doing that, I came across a couple more of the Polaroids. So I've moved them around a little bit and I got rid of the green one that I didn't particularly like at the beginning. Then I found a card that had the numbers 1 to 10 on. So I just trimmed that down and I'm going to use that as well in the centre. And I've also off camera printed a few more photos. I then decided before this gets too much stuff on the top that I'm actually going to start to stick down the first layer. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I'm not very keen on sticking things down straight away, but I decided actually it was going to get too crazy if I didn't. So I'm just trimming the Polaroids a little bit to make sure that they do fit. There's going to be a tiny bit of white between them all, but you won't really see that in the end. And I'm just running the distress around the edges just to add a little bit of texture. And then I'm slowly but surely, I'm going to stick these down. I'm going to start with the corners and then I will be able to add the next ones in and just make sure the gaps are reasonably even on the 10 running around the outside. So I'm liking the way the colours are with these. It's a really lovely collection. I've used it and done some layouts already on my YouTube channel with this. It's lovely, like retro summer colours. So I'm just going back in with some of the photos that I've already printed. I'm literally printing them to order for this because I don't want to put a big photo on a small Polaroid. So I'm tending to have a look at what's left or the photo that I want and where it would fit, if that makes sense. So I'm being quite specific. I actually had trouble choosing. And I know that Julie will particularly be laughing when she hears me say that. Holidaying is something that I really love to do. Seeing the world is something that I desperately love to do. And I've been very lucky over the 35 years that I've been married so that we have gone to lots of places just ourselves and with our children. So I did have trouble making some choices and then I had some trouble choosing some photos. But this is really just as a snapshot of some of the memories. And in fact, some of it is the memories of those holidays rather than the actual photograph that's making me smile. I'm smiling as I'm talking to you here while I think about these. Now I found that big camera piece, which is a die cut, but it's yellow and it's I want it to be on the right hand of the two Polaroids in the center. So later I'm going to swap those two over so that the yellow isn't yellow on yellow. So I'm going through all the bits and pieces. There's lots of cameras in here. There's lots of hearts in this range. There's quite a few sticker words. There's a pair of sunglasses there. Lots of bits I could use. I know it's a summer range and not all my photographs are summery. I've got a woolly hat on in one later on. But there is lots and lots of choice and plenty. I did bring in a tag punch there and punch out of the stripy paper. I don't use them at the end, but I still may go back in with them. I'm wondering whether to actually add the dates. Now the layout's finished, I'm wondering whether to actually add the dates of when these trips were. I add the names to the list, the 1 to 10 list, but so it's something I'm going to think about, and I might add before it goes into the album. I finally found the last photo that I was looking for, so I've printed that out now. So there should be 10 photos on the outer Polaroid. So I've just got some foam tape and some double-sided tape, and I'm slowly but surely going to work my way around adding the photographs to the Polaroids. I'm adding a couple of bits behind some of the photographs. There was a couple of die cuts with the days of the week on, and some with like a calendar numbers, so I'm going to add those behind some of the photos. I'm using one of the smaller Polaroid images in the top right with some flip-flops on, because that's the only beachy, seasidey photo that I've got out of the 10 that I've picked, so I'm going to use one of those there. I'm just starting to get everything in position. I'm lifting off the bits that I didn't want. I put a Polaroid behind that photograph, but I do remove it later and add a label tab instead. But I know there's a lot to look at on this, so I'm trying to not overwhelm it, but actually now and again you have to kind of just go with it. There's lots of lovely pieces that I can tuck in. The photographs are still very visible, so I'm just going to roll with it. So I was going to go back to why Jackie's picked her challenge to be 10, and it can be 10 of anything. It doesn't need to be top 10 like I've used. It can be anything you like relating to 10. And the reason for this is that this month it will be 10 years since Jackie, Julie and myself joined Hey Little Magpie on the design team. Now, it's unbelievable. I don't know where those last 10 years have gone, but we've had a whale of a time. Obviously, we're still all there, so we thought it was something worth celebrating. Now, one of the reasons for making this layout is when I got the email to say that I'd been accepted on the team, I was on holiday in Thailand, and I remember being panicky, thinking, "Oh my goodness, I need to reply to this email." I was jet lagged as well. We'd only just got there, and I couldn't believe it that it was the first major team I'd ever been on, and I was overawed by it. So obviously it's a huge memory. Thailand hasn't made the cut with the photographs, but it was one of the things that started me off thinking, how could I do Jackie's challenge and do it justice for myself? And I thought, actually, that works really well for me, that I remember where I was when I found out I was on the Hey Little Magpie team. So I'm literally just finishing off the squares or the Polaroids as I work my way around. And I've just brought in some of the Hey Little Magpie exclusives on the left there. I've got some flair, and I've got some little embroidered flowers, and I've got some 3D prints as well. And I'm going to see if I can add some of those as well without overwhelming the photographs. Some of the flair, the lovely canvas flair, I really love those. I like the feel of them and the fact they're not shiny. They definitely make the cut. So the Polaroid die cut, the yellow one, I'm going to use it as a pocket. So I'm putting some 3D foam on two sides of it, and I'm going to just use that to hold that list. And I will journal on that list at the very end and put a tab on it to make it easy to remove. So on the yellow Polaroid, I'm actually going to put the title, and I've just brought in some wax paper, and these alphabets are from Doodlebug. They're the alphabet soup ones, really nice. And I'm going to just make sure that my words fit. So at the moment I'm looking at holiday memories, but I decided that the word memories is too small and there's not really space for it. So as I work through, see, I've got sidetracked, you see there, I'm adding some flair, and I brought in another alpha. These are from my stash. This is just white. I've been picking the colours from the collection and having a look what I got, just so that it all coordinates. I don't want it to be to stand out too much. So the idea is I'm going to write our top 10 favourite holidays. So there's the favourite in the white, both still on wax paper so that I can see where they'll fit. I love this little banner, so I'm going to stick that down now and then make sure it doesn't stick on the tag. and then I can actually get the title stuck down. So I'm going to start at the bottom and get the letters in place. Well, I'm very lucky that that Polaroid has got a grid pattern in the centre, which means I can follow the lines, because I'd be lucky to get my ruler in there with the different bits stuck with foam. I would never get my ruler flat, but I'm following the lines and I'm just putting them down lightly in case I need to move them. Now this is a very old Alpha, but I quite like the fact it was a neutral tan colour, because there's quite a few tan embellishments, particularly the cameras in this collection, and I wanted to try and get the word top 10 across there. Well, I think I'm pretty much done now, apart from adding the journaling onto that tag. Thank you so much for watching. Do check out this challenge. It's a lot of fun, and do take part and put your layout in the correct album to be in a chance to winning points off the Magpie shop. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we hope to see you here again soon. This is just to show you the dimension, and there's the tag. I've written all the places. I'm going to add some more detail on the back, and here's some of the close-ups coming up. So thanks so much for watching. Take care. Hope to see you here soon. Bye for now.